There are plans for a new supermarket in Edgeware, which is causing some issues with some locals. Some want it, some don't. But some say there are concerns with the lack of consultation when it comes to the community. Christchurch Central MP Duncan Webb is all over this and he joins me now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, good to be here.
Nice to see you. What are the main concerns about the supermarket so far? And first of all, whereabouts is it planned for in Edgeware?
Yes, so it's planned for a site that's been vacant for a while on Madras Street. So if ever you've driven down there, come off the one way, you'll see a large open space. It used to be, I think, a council site, but it's been vacant for a very long time. There's some new houses going up on there. That's all good. So very happy for the land to be used. But the question I have raised is whether the community has any say what goes on there, particularly if it's a large structure like a supermarket. The central point is that there's a real chance this could get put on a fast-track process. So we've had these fast-track projects that were in the legislation as it passed, but there's also an ability to put a project into that system. And we understand that that's what Woolworths wants to do. So there'll be no community consultation on whether it's a supermarket, what kind of supermarket it is, what other kind of facilities, how much parking there is, what the street plan is, all of those kinds of things. The community would be shut out of that. And the supermarket may well be the right thing to put there. I don't know. But I do think the locals who are going to be living next door to this deserve to have a say.
Absolutely they do, because it's right next to a residential area. Duncan, the original proposal was pitched under the Fast Track Act, but that didn't progress. You're concerned that that may now change?
Yeah, so there's an ability to apply to the ministers to get something put on the fast track. So they may tweak it, they may make some changes to try and reshape the project so that it might get on that fast track project. Look, so what I'm saying is do it the usual way, put it through the consenting process at council, and so the locals can have a say. And what you'll actually end up with is whatever project comes out the other end is one that's suitable for the community and kind of has the social license so that, people buy into what's going on there.
Of course, some critics of yours will say that you're against competition, but that's really not the case, is it? I mean, Woolworths is hardly a cheap supermarket in the great scheme of things. Let's be honest about it. All these supermarkets now are expensive.
Yeah, look, I absolutely want competition. And when I was in the last government as minister, one of my main projects was trying to break open the supermarkets and make them more competitive. So if you go into the supermarket and see the per kilogram price on your tomatoes, that's work that I did. I put a supplier code in. I made it possible for other retailers to buy from supermarket wholesalers. And this government's continuing on with that work, and that's good. But what we desperately need is we need a new entrant, a new player, a big new player into the supermarket space, or at least into the food space. I don't know if it's going to be bricks and mortar supermarket or whether it's going to be home deliveries from a warehouse. But we need something to really keep those guys honest, because at the moment we know they're still making a lot of money, a lot of profit, and it's profit on the back of what's essentially a duopoly.
I thought Christchurch City Councillor Pauline Cotton made a valid point, and that was, does the area really need a big box supermarket when there are already 5 within a 3-kilometre radius? And what are your views on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not against people having a crack with a new business. The nearest supermarket to the proposed one is 950 metres away. But there is a kind of shape and size question in there that you allude to, because I think the original proposal was a big supermarket with associated big box retail, which is a little out of character for that neighbourhood and probably a little kind of oversized, if you know what I mean. If there's a proposal for another kind of village in there, a village supermarket with some cafes and greengrocers and what have you, that may well work. But let's have a conversation. Don't shut us out from the conversation.
So just finally, in what arguably you may describe as the worst case scenario, if this does go through the fast track process with the government, does that absolutely mean that residents that live down Madras Street, residents live down, is it Cannon Road, all those areas, they have no say? It just goes in and there it is.
Goes in, the advisory group or the panel will touch base with council to get council's views, but in terms of locals having a voice, shut out. And that's why we hate the fast track process so much.
Duncan, we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
All good. Thank you.